There are 3 or 4 things, areas of your life you have to develop yourself before you meet a partner. There are 3 or 4 areas you must develop yourself before you meet a partner. If you read Genesis chapter 24, if you start reading from verse 12, 13, 14 down, and you read Proverbs chapter 31, you read from verse 30, you start seeing how to develop. The first development a person needs is spiritual. Until you have a relationship with God, don't think of a relationship with anybody. Proverbs 31:30, favor is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord, she shall be praised. You must be spiritually developed. You must have an intimacy with God. And it's the intimacy with God that helps you to set boundaries for yourself. So do not think of a relationship with a man or anybody until you already have one with God. If you do not have a relationship with God, in fact, there are some of you who should not be in the relationship now. If somebody is asking you out for a relationship, no, for now. Because there are certain things in your life you are still battling with. So if you now enter a relationship with that person, even if that person is a firebrand, you will pull him down because your own weakness, you have not been delivered from it. I don't know if you have what I'm saying. Tell the person, give me time. Something happened one day. A man called Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. He was the Indian ruler or leader. A woman has a son, and that son, Gandhi was his favorite, his model, great model. So the son decided to always talk about Gandhi to the mom. But the son had a weakness. The problem was the guy liked sugar. He was sweet tooth. He can put 6 cubes, 7 cubes. The mother had talked and talked. The boy wouldn't change. So one time, they had the privilege of meeting with Gandhi. So the mother brought it up. Said, my son loves you so much, but he's always eating sugar. Please talk to him to stop. Gandhi looked at the boy. He told the mother, bring this boy in 2 weeks' time. The mother said, you can't talk to him. I said, in 2 weeks' time. The boy came in 2 weeks' time, and Gandhi looked him in the eyes. I said, boy, stop taking sugar. The mother said, why didn't you do it 2 weeks ago? Gandhi said, as at 2 weeks ago, I eat too much sugar. I was in America. I was in one state in America, moving to another state. And I saw some people who were dressed, men behaving like girls. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know those kind of people. I don't want to, I'm on television. That those kind of people. You know what they call them, what they do. Men. I was just looking at them like this. So when they playing together, and I was just looking at them. So they were talking about one particular guy who was running for Senate. And they were saying, oh my God, I don't even like him. I was looking at, unfortunately for me, I was sitting. It wasn't my plane. There's nothing I could do. So I was looking at them, and I asked a question. I said, why don't you like him? He said, because it's like us. I said, why don't you like somebody like you? He said, no. Oh. If he does what we do, he cannot control us. You see sense? Since he does what we do, so what's the difference? We need somebody who doesn't do, who has mastered the act. So you must be spiritual so that you stop hurting people. There are some young ladies that kept themselves, kept their bodies until they met a Christian brother, a so-called Christian brother. Are you following me? And that's why personally, I don't believe in dating. I believe in courtship. This is the called dating. It has to be friendship to courtship. Dating is random. Courtship is intentional. When you bring somebody say, oh, I want to date, let's just see how it goes. Don't let any young man enter your life and tell you, let's see how it goes. It has to go somewhere. It must be going somewhere. Say, make you just the looker. Make you the looker. Stay in your papa house. Make you the looker for that side. Are you following what I'm saying? Say, let's just. At the end of the day, when we talk like this, many of you here who are hiding your relationship from me and from authority, you think you are doing us. In fact, you are even helping us because it makes our life easier. When they say, tell us who you're with, you decide to hide it. Many people are liars. Liars. One of our pastors left a sister. If I noticed the pastor was no more committed to church things, blah, 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 I was wondering what's going on. He met his sister. I didn't know what was going on. The sister succeeded in taking his money, taking all of everything. He didn't bring the girl to me. Do you know what the girl told him? I'll shock you. The guy said, myself, mentioned 2 or 3 other pastors that were looking for how to have a relationship with her. The very time he said, I want Papa to know you. He doesn't worship in the airport. I worship one of the state branches. He said, I want my pastor in that place to know you. I want to know you. And I told the boys, are you stupid? He said, that was what? So she said that to make him not bring her to us, knowing that I already know who she was dating in America. I'm not sure you understand the game. So he started showing her, Papa, I want to see when I come to our church. I said, sure, see me, you're my daughter anytime. He said, see, Papa was saying I should come and see him. The pastor said, how are you doing? I do see you in church. Daddy, I miss you too. He said, see, didn't I tell you? So all of those evidences she built together made her empty the brother. He sold his car, sold his computer, sold his laptop. He sold his phone, sold everything. So he couldn't bring her to me. I don't know if you have what I'm saying. Walked on the brain of the guy. In fact, the guy even became, his fire died. Until the day he found out. He came, knelt down, Daddy, forgive me. I said, forgive for what? He started opening up to me. Myself and his pastor were together. We started laughing. He said, that girl? I said, yes. Maradona. Not that girl. I said, we know her. She's like this. Maradona. Because you know when he brings her to us, we say, guy, don't you go there. Because we know what this person is doing. The young man knows that when they bring you, we'll say, brother, let me give you a story. One guy. Okay, the way you're laughing, I'm not talking again. I have some daughters who, let me tell you the way we see life. There are some daughters who they don't have biological fathers. Are you following me? So once you are their pastor, you are like their biological father. They want to tell you everything. So there was a daughter I have like that. Every single thing she would tell me, everything. So one time, she would just jump, say, Daddy, I want to tell you something. I said, what? See, there's this person that is asking me out. I said, okay. You know, boundaries. Set boundaries. Okay. He said, I want you to meet him. I said, are you all right? Me meet him or he meet me? He said, okay, we'll meet you. I said, okay, where is he coming? He says, in church here. I said, this church? I said, it's easier. What department? I said, protocol. I said, my protocol. He said, yes. I said, okay, that's nice. I started calculating. Who did protocol will never engage? Who is in protocol that doesn't have somebody? Because that's one, there are criteria to come around me. There are criteria. You know, who is in protocol? So as we entering church, I said, come. Where is the person? Say, Daddy, I've told him to come and see you. I don't know, we'll be postponing. Red flag. As I heard that, my head made ta-da. I said, okay. Finally, the guy, and I said, okay, you know what? When I'm entering the church, I'm leaving the office, just, if you see the person, just signal to me. Don't talk, just signal. She said, how? I said, just signal, just Papa. Okay. So, when I got there, she just signaled somebody. The person she signaled, I started laughing. I said, okay, no problem. When I said, come upstairs, I told the guy, I said, please come up. When the guy noticed she was up, he couldn't enter. He was waiting. After a while, I said, they should bring him. When he came up, I said, sorry, I'm so happy that my daughter and yourself are now in a relationship. He said, me, when, where, how? The girl said, you? But you told me now that you love me. It's a love of God. Love of God. Love of God. Can't I love you the love of God? And I said, he said, it's not love of God. It's not love of God. You told me you love me. He said, Papa, you see, one time, I gave him this. I supported him because she's a very good person. That's where I'm going to. She was somebody who could work with her hands. Because that's one of the characteristics of the virtuous woman. I gave him this, I gave him that. Even one time. I now said, calm down. I said, brother, why? I said, Daddy, this was his word. He said, Daddy, look at this small leader I'm trying to help. That was his word. And that got me very angry. I don't like when you commonize people. I said, oh, really? He said, yes. I said, sister, sure you have heard now. He said, Daddy, he's lying. I said, no, he's not lying. This is the real him. And when people tell you who they are, believe them. When people tell you who they are, I'm trying to tell you some of the reasons why they can't let you come to us. They can't, because they know we'll say the truth. We'll tell you to be careful. Spiritual. If you don't see, when they say the fear of God, the fear of God means you consider God before you act. It doesn't mean God carry koboko and will carry a gun. So because you don't want that gun and horsewhip. Okay, look up, let me say something. How many of you know there is no sin that you commit now that God has not seen before? Do you think there's anything you do now and God will say, hey, Ada, you die today? There's nothing you will do that God has not seen before. When God tells you to stay away from sin, it's not because of him. It's because no sin will destroy you. It's not him. It's God already. It's already God. It's the great God. So when you don't have that spiritual maturity, when you have not grown and developed yourself spiritually, when you try to get into a relationship, you keep causing problems. That's when brother will come to you. When are you spending the night in my house? Spend the night in my house. And I keep asking, is the night money that you spend? Spend the night. No, all of those things, you don't need them. Are you following what I'm talking about? First of all, you must fall in love with God before you fall in love with a partner. Say to your neighbor, fall in love with God before you fall in love with a partner. Someone who doesn't have a relationship with God. I'm saying this because one of the biggest problems we have around the nations of the world is that you see, marriage, the breakdown of society. How many of you know the breakdown of society is on the platform of a breakdown of family? You may come from a broken home, but don't create one. Can I repeat that? You may come from a broken home, but don't create one. Deliberately choose to say, I will not create a broken home. And it takes your spirituality and your relationship with God. When a relationship with a person is affecting your relationship with God, break it. When this is not, you were not thinking like this before. Now your brain is now doing. You start wearing the things that naturally you don't like to wear because that's what the person likes you to wear. You start saying the things that the person wants you to say. Once you just notice that you don't pray anymore, you can't flow anymore, you can't do certain things. You say, I think we have to call off. You have to rest. Let's rest. Let this thing wait. Let this thing what? Wait. Let it wait. Because at the end of the day, if that person fears the Lord, there are some things he will not do or she will not do to you. That's why there must be a third party in the relationship, which is God. You both must be accountable to God. So, that's the first thing you must ever do. Straighten your relationship with God. Out of the huge overflow of your relationship with God, you are now looking for a brother to study with, a sister to study with, a person to discuss with. Very, very important.